It's taking a minute. All right, we're live. Yeah, it's supposed to attach the password to the link. I suppose if you have to download and install the software for the first time, it can be difficult, but everybody's been bashing Zoom for security risks and all sorts of stuff. So they've been coming out with update after update after update about security measures and whatnot. So it's probably just the first time that it's difficult. All right, so what I'm going to do in preparation for tomorrow, we're going to start the trading room back up tomorrow. I'm going to run through crude. I'm just going to do the main 3 higher time frames. We're using a 138-minute chart. It's for the futures. It basically divides the day into 10 bars. So that's really the only significance of that number, 138. So I'm just going to do the daily, weekly, and 138-minute. I'm going to go through crude, then ES, and then 6E, and then we'll see how far we can get. I'm just going to go about an hour. Danny, I'm not sure what you're talking about. That's a setting in your browser, Todd. No, you don't install the volume analyzer. You're a master suite. You should have access to the new master suite installer. So it's really no, if you guys got that email last week, it's not anything really dramatic that you have to do. It's you just uninstall the old software and then run the new installers, and that's it. And then when you start up, you'll be presented with this authorization interface right here. And this is how we're doing the licensing now, which I'll show you a picture of, but I got to be mindful of this. One second. So this is what it looks like right here. So this will pop up. And if it doesn't, sorry, that's the chair, guys. It's the chair. If it doesn't pop up, which it will, if you're opening any workspace that has any of our indicators on it, then all you do is just open it up from the control center. New, go all the way down to trade the plan at the bottom, and then open up authorization interface. And then you'll simply add your email in, and then you'll click on send confirmation email, and that should go directly to your inbox. If it goes to your spam, let me know, but it should go directly to your inbox, and it's going to email you a link with a confirmation number that I think is 6 digits, 6 or 7. And then you just copy it and paste it in there, and that's it. And then you're good to go. Then you'll just restart as well. Anybody have some serious trouble with it? Cedric's going to sort you guys out in the morning if you have had trouble, but just raise your hand if you had any trouble. All right, well, if you do, let us know, and Cedric will sort you out. It should only take a couple of minutes. You just uninstall the old, install the new, and you're good to go. Oh yeah, buddy. Big time. Robbie, all you do is sign into the website, go to portal.tradetheplan.com. Yeah, we've got major updates that just came out last week. And we've completely changed the licensing system. It's email based now with a confirmation code that you'll have to paste in. And for those of you that have been signed up to the trading room, we're either going to refund your last month or not charge you the next month. It's whichever you prefer. And then that'll give you a week free at least. And then we're gonna get back up and running tomorrow morning, 7:30. I'm gonna be using a different computer than this. I'm just not finished setting it up yet. I will be. I was hoping to have it done before we started today, this evening, but it's not quite finished. But it will be shortly. And I got a new AMD on the way. I went ahead and bought that 3900 XT. Just because I've got some programs that are still, you know, single threaded. So evidently that it's like 3% better performance or something for single threaded stuff. Let's see here. I'm gonna make sure that I got this set up. Merge, non-back adjusted. I remember getting a heck of a lot more data than that on the weekly chart though for crude. Doesn't that seem like it's a little bit short? Oh, I know what I got to do. I'm sorry. Yeah, so this is one thing that I've been kind of mulling over, whether for the analysis live, if we require everyone to have the same data feed, and if so, then we would do kinetic and or IQ feed. But one thing that we can at least do is for the daily and the weekly charts, we can use continuous data, the continuous contract. So with a continuous contract, you can get any futures data just by connecting to the kinetic end of day free, this one here. So if you'll use the Ninja Manager and select that one first, select kinetic end of day free first, and then connect to your data feed that you get minute and tick data from, then you'll be able to get all of the continuous contracts for the daily charts, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. And then just use this to open it up and you'll be all good. You can set it to start up with Windows and then start up NinjaTrader immediately following the starting up of Windows. There's a number of different ways you can set it up. If you leave it running all day long, You know, if you shut it down at night, then you could make it start up on a schedule. And the next thing we have to add is the ability to shut down NinjaTrader, which shouldn't be too difficult. Alan is saying the volume is very, very low. Let me see if I can do something about that real fast. I can turn it up a little bit. Just kind of depends on where I position this microphone. I don't have the good one hooked up yet. Is that better? It's a little bit better, but it's kind of popping and cracking. Enable stereo sound, maybe that'll help. Testing, 1, 2, 3. It's about as good as I can make it. I believe. All right, I'm gonna get on with it here in a second. Let me just check this one last setting. That would be why. All right, what about now? It's a little bit better, huh? Not really. Well, whatever. I've done about all I can do with this microphone here. Yeah, it's a piece. Oh well. Good enough. All right, let's do it. So I'm going to go ahead and open actually, I'm just going to change this over to a continuous contract. Then I should have a lot more data. Yeah. See the difference? So that's using the free data feed that Ninja provides via Kinetic. All right, let's do this. So we have retraced all the way back up. And we've just tagged that last week, the underside of that first massive wave down. So this would be the point at which you would be wondering whether or not it's going to turn back down. And I would expect some sort of retracement, but it is so strong to the upside that I don't know. I'm not really expecting to go back down to 650. But yeah, I mean, we don't really have a beautiful short, that's for sure. Unless you're willing to hold it for multiple weeks. Hotkeys are all jacked up. All right. That one's still pretty far away. None of this is all that useful currently. I'm just trying to figure out long term where the next major target might be for the swing high. I mean, ultimately, this is the only spot that we have nearby simply the underside of that major low and a filling of the gap. I'm sure that's about 61.8, yeah. It's almost exactly 61.8. Okay. What I had been looking at for this push down was, excuse me, making it down to the bottom. Hang on one second. All right, sorry. I still have a bit of a cold. Making it down to the bottom of this downsloping channel, but I thought that we would do that, uh, you know, much later. I had no idea that it was going to go down as far and as fast as it would. And actually, I was using this low back here. So I was expecting to go down to like, I think it was just above 10. And then, you know, we had that negative day where it went below 0, which was insane. And then the front month contract 650, I think it was 670 on the tick chart, which was a little bit funny. But that low, I was expecting to occur on a 5th wave. So if it is still going to go back down and finish up with 5 waves down, so this is for Elliott wave, but I know a lot of you guys can't stand it, but bear with me. So if this is an A, B, C, then that's your big X wave here. I'm just going to use the incorrect nomenclature here for a moment, just to get the idea across. But if that's your first big ABC down, and that would be A, then B, then this could in fact be, I'm sorry, WXY. Then this could in fact be the final low, the Y wave low, and that would be your A, and this could be B right here. It's slightly lower, but it's like a running double 3. And that would be your final ABC down. A lot of times in these double 3 patterns, I mean, this is a huge pattern, obviously, from 2007. I think it's 2006, 2007, 2008. A lot of times that last leg, the Y portion of the double 3, will be a lot smaller than the preceding ABC. And the A wave down, a lot of times, you know, when you're learning Elliott wave and you're looking for a double 3 and you're trying to memorize all these different corrective patterns, I think there's, you know, 13 with variations on each. It can be a bit difficult, but in a double 3, you kind of expect that A wave down of the final 3. So this would be the final 3, A, B, C. You would expect that A wave down would break the preceding C wave low. in a downward corrective pattern, but most of the time it doesn't actually do that, and then you end up with a much smaller ABC for the final Y leg. So I'm kind of thinking that it's done there. I know a lot of people think the world is coming to an end or something, but I'm not in that camp, and I've been saying that for a while. That is either the buying opportunity of a lifetime below $10, or yeah, the world's coming to an end. Which, this is a kind of contrived depression, as it is actually a depression now, I would say. So it's a bit artificial. So I don't really know what the ramifications are going to be of all this, but I'm not entirely sure how long it's going to last. If it's going to last as long as a lot of people are saying that it will, then yeah, we're in for a pretty miserable decade. But I don't think that's what's happening. I think they'll probably use this as some sort of way to change our entire world economy, how we do business, currencies, get rid of cash, all such as that. And I think we'll have some changes, but I don't think it's going to be as dramatic as a lot of people are expecting. So anyhow, we pulled all the way back and done that in pretty much a straight line. So I wouldn't really be buying into this tomorrow. In fact, we have our first lower high right here. Yeah, we probably got one good long left out of this. So that's clearly a trend line. If we can make it back down to that, let's see. I hate not having my hotkeys all set up. They're all programmed directly into the other mouse that I have, and I totally forgot about it. Oops. Let's just use this one here. So that's going to be our target right there. Right exactly there. Uh-oh. Charlie's crying to come in. I better open the door before he kicks it down. 1 second. Hey, Charlie. Good boy. Yeah, I'm thinking that's our big 1, 2, 3. And it looks like we're probably making like an ending diagonal for the fifth wave. Two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's our 3. Maybe that's 4 running triangle. And then we're doing like an ending diagonal. So that's either the end of that A wave up, or it is in fact the end of a double 3 up. But most double 3s, most corrective waves will trace out a channel, and that has clearly not done so. It's been, I mean, that's a straight line up basically. So I'm not looking for any corrective wave high. I'm expecting a major end of this move at some point, but definitely not going to be shorting it. But it looks to me like we've got at least one more good long out of this. Of course, this is a pretty big chart. I mean, this is a little over 2 hours per bar. So that would be a, you know, like a swing trade setup. I'm thinking we'll probably make this low tonight in the overnight, and then head up for one more high at least. Let's just try to figure this out real quick. Yeah, 78.6. I'm going to delete this profile for a minute. All right, I'm going to see if this little E wave lines up. It's a bit, yeah, it's 38.2. You'd be safe calling that a running triangle, but I don't know. I don't really like it. It's kind of funny looking. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C. So if it is doing an ending diagonal, then we've got at least one more ABC up. Let me just reconsider this. Let me just assume that the third wave is not done yet. Now I'd say it's done. That's the 261.8. Yeah, it's pretty well done. All right. So let's run this extension of wave one. But notice this. If that's the end of wave three here, you see how we just barely missed that 261.8? What I want to do is, rather than use that extreme low, I want to kind of fine tune it so that 261.8 lines up right at the end of that wave. Okay. Good. All right, now I'm going to project that forward, but I need the 100%. Let's see. I need all of these. I'll turn that 50 on too, yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to take this and project it from the end of wave four which I know looks funny, but pretty sure that's, I can't say I'm, you know, super sure, but looks to me like we've got an ABC up here or a double three up. Could be a 1-2 of wave five, but that would be an extended fifth wave, and that would be a huge fifth wave. So I don't think that's what's happening. I think we're doing an ending diagonal of a fifth wave, which will end up probably making it to about 44, 64, maybe as high as 50. And then we'll have our high. So let's just check something about that fourth wave. If that is the fourth wave, then how do we find it? You guys should know by now, you guys in the trading room, right? Connect wave 1 to 3 parallel from 2, except we're using also the median line, which gives us a little edge, a little better edge. And look at that. So it's one or the other or both. So for the fourth wave target, you're running wave 1 to 3 parallel from 2. This is an interesting little wave 1 high though, and this is something you hear me say in the trading room all the time. I don't know why Ninja does that gap around the border of the chart, but it drives me crazy. Anyway, you've got kind of 3 swings here, 3 highs. And I mean, I know that's clearly the end of wave 1 here, but for the sake of the market geometry, you want to use the one in the middle anytime there's 3. So let's just try that. Doesn't quite line up as well with the median line for the end of wave 4 here. It kind of makes you think that this is the end of wave 4, right? Because that's what we look for. Anytime we've got a clear 1, 2, 3, and we're looking for the fourth wave low, I mean, that's exactly how we're finding that long right there by running this channel. And a lot of times when it's really, you know, really beautiful, crystal clear, that swing low will occur right where that median line is intersecting the channel line. So it kind of makes you wonder if that's not the end of wave 4 here, and this is the beginning of the ending diagonal fifth wave, or maybe just an extended fifth. At any rate, we've got a pretty good chance of making new highs. I'd say quite good, yeah. Anyhow, if I connect this back to the extreme high, you can see the median line intersects the low with what I'm calling a fourth wave low, which would be a running triangle, which is a bit awkward to be sure. And there it is right there. So we've turned up from that, broken back inside of it. A lot of times when you do that, you'll make it back to the lower. So if we do end up breaking that trend line at 40, 44, then I would expect to see it come on down to the bottom of that lower median line. And then the other targets we would have would be, yep, exactly right there. Right where those intersect, see? It's nice when it all lines up perfectly. So I've got a pretty clear idea as to what should happen. What should happen? Yeah, right. Who knows that? What I expect to happen. And if it does happen, then I'll execute. And if it doesn't, then I won't. And that's it. You even got the point of control right there. On the minute chart, I mean, who knows where the actual point of control is? It's somewhere right around in there. But you're definitely right in the hot spot where the majority of the volume is traded. I'm not sure when rollover was. It was somewhere back in here. But yeah, the majority of this is volume traded on this contract. So I'm going to go ahead and export this. Hang on a second here. Okay, I'll export it once we're done here for you guys in the trading room. And then let's see what else we have lining up. You can see why that lower high occurred right there, right? See that? So let me hide everything. Man, I feel like a invalid without my hotkeys set up perfectly. Yeah, look at that. That's quite nice. So, right, 40, 44, 40, 48. And then if we break that right there at 40, probably by the time we get there, it would be below 39.90. But because it moved down from that upper median line, if it does break the channel, then I would expect to make it to this median line next. So we'll see what that looks like on the 30-minute, 10-minute, 5-minute tomorrow. If it breaks through this, then we'll have at least one good short for 30, 40, 50 ticks maybe. So we pull back to it. All right, let's move on to the ES. Volume is still registering really low, but I wish I could do it's a little bit better, I guess, but it's just popping and cracking. All right. ES pound pound dash pound pound. And that is the continuous contract that we're getting the non-back adjusted data for from the free Kinetic data feed that comes with Ninja. So Ninja provides you with free daily data for pretty much every market available, most of them, for daily and weekly, which daily is just made up of, weekly is made up of daily bars. And yeah, that was the buying opportunity of a lifetime. Which is what we were saying, right? Buying opportunity of a lifetime, or the world is coming to an end. And that's that rare running triangle. At least that's what I think it is. That's what the dudes at Elliott Wave were saying for the longest time, and then they changed their tune. I don't know why they changed their tune, but they did. If it's making a lower high and we're going to go down and break that low, you obviously don't have very much room left. I want to say the NASDAQ has already broken it, hadn't it? Let's see. Put the weekly on here. Still have some room left in the YM, quite a bit more than you have in the ES, but I'm pretty sure NASDAQ has already broken that or come close to anyway. You know what? I've got another one here. Yeah, I think this is blank pretty much. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. Dang, man. No wonder. I mean, duh, right? Everybody's working from home. You can't find a computer to save your life. Every motherboard and CPU you want is on back order till the end of August. Everybody's working from home. Productivity is increasing for about the next 12 months until everybody gets weirded out from working at home. It's all fun and games for about the first 12 months, and then it sucks. What a heck of a move, my goodness. Straight vertical. See, this is the time when we would need the logarithmic chart. But Ninja does it so strangely that it's a bit difficult to deal with. And we haven't adapted the market geometry tools to make that calculation yet, which we need to do. Let's see. It's pretty obvious. Oh, there's a save as default button, goodness gracious. So yeah, you've got a little bit of room left to the top of that channel, but it really just depends on where you draw it from, and I've just moved it. Looks like Ninja's fixed that weird problem it had with snapping. Well, no, maybe not. Yeah, it looks like it probably has fixed it. It used to just kind of snap to just random spots, like not even the end of bars. But yeah, it looks like they've kind of fixed that mostly. This is a bit difficult to do with these logarithmic charts. Well, at any rate, the widest spot that we have is, I think, let's see. It's got to be right there, yeah. So that's still a pretty good ways up. I'd say we'll make it to at least that, but I mean, it's, you know, on the normal chart, on the standard, what's the word I'm looking for? Arithmetic chart. It's pretty much vertical. So we might be kicking off a new third wave that just drives and drives and drives. Anyway, I'm going to change it back now. I just wanted to see if we were at the top of that one or if we had more room or what. All right. Yeah, I mean, any channel that I would draw with an arithmetic chart is going to be, you know, breaking right through it, obviously. You have made it. Oh, that's a good one right there. That would be the next major spot that you would expect the high, right? The 100% warning line. I mean, look at how obvious the low was. It's just, it's a bit difficult to buy when it looks like that, though, when it's going straight down. But, you know, I know a lot of you guys that actually trade your retirement funds and whatnot were picking up quite a few stocks down there. It's a perfect spot. I think it was not quite as beautiful on the YM, but it was still a pretty good spot. Hurry up and get to 6E because that was a just a beautiful and easy fourth wave low triangle, and it's gone straight up out of it. Yeah, see here on the YM, it broke way through it. That's typically more of a throwover than I would allow, but on the ES, it was just barely a throwover. It looked more like this. It's not barely, but that's still a pretty big throwover, actually. I'm curious what further back looks like. I wish I had the data that goes all the way back to. Does anybody have some of that data that you could send me for Ninja, for the Dow that goes way back? I mean, I know it was only called the Dow in the 20s, I believe. Can't remember what it was called before that. But somebody aggregated the data going back to like 1890 or something. I think it was that guy from GAN Global, something or other. But anyway, that's some data that I would love to have. If any of you guys have that, that would be awesome if you could send it to me. And there's your trend line from low to low. But yeah, that's a heck of a low to buy, huh? And that is the rarest pattern, that expanding triangle. Okay, crude is actually coming down now. We might see this set up in the next 2 hours. Yeah, looks like it It actually might. So that's pretty clear. ABC down, ABC back up. And it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, but they're overlapping. So maybe this is a triangle 4. But I think we're going to make it down here pretty quickly. It might be worth waiting up for over the next few hours. All right, let's do the 6E real quick. Actually, let me do this. I want to do the ES 138 minute real quick. That is funny looking, isn't it? That's what she said. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nah. See, that's the problem with this thing. I don't know what to do with this section in here. That's kind of why I'm still thinking it might be a lower high that we turned down from. I don't know. That move up out of this low here, I don't think that works anyway. No, it doesn't work. The move up and out of this low is so dramatic. It's probably one of the fastest moves we've had of all time. I mean, it's, well, this was probably slightly faster right in here, but that was a really fast move up. And then the push down is clearly corrective. So I'm thinking that's a 1, 2 up. And then whatever this is, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, that could be the A wave high, yeah. Might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for C, but you don't have a lot of room back up. Let's see. I just want to see where that gap is. All right, I'm going to do a little I forgot I got these settings set to high-low close. Hang on. Open, high-low close. This one I do want the close. That's it right there. It's exactly in line with that previous high too. All right, so that would be our little area that we would want to make it back into. So let's see. I want to do this on the RTH chart as well, which is very, very important, especially now when it's moving so fast. We've got gaps all over the place on the RTH charts. I swear this monitor makes everything look so funny. Makes the lines look jagged. Does it look jagged to you guys? It's a bit awkward looking. Anyway. All right, I'm going to turn the tabs on. Ninja added the ability to show tabs in the right-click menu now, which is kind of nice, I guess. Where are you? RTH3 BHES. I don't need the BH one. Let's just use this one. I think we're going to have a pretty good long opportunity here tomorrow. If you're talking about swing trading. Let's see. This is tricky because you've got 1, 2, 3 swings, right? So this is the point where I would say use the one in the middle, but in this case, the one in the middle is just kind of a tiny little swing. It's not like you have 3 big swings that, you know, make like a head and shoulders type looking pattern. So that's a bit tricky. This is what makes it difficult to automate the market geometry, stuff like this. Same thing with Elliott Wave, right? That's why nobody has a good Elliott Wave automation tool except for old Prector, who's been working on it for 40 years. Did you miss the good stuff? Probably. I don't know, man. Is there ever? Let's not be negative, Daniel. I think the good stuff is coming tomorrow. So we'll have the trading room open again tomorrow. You're not in there anymore, though, are you? You're focusing on the Forex. I'm going to get on the 6E here in a second, so I think that's more your forte, huh, Rob? Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Beautimus. That's it right there. Somewhere in that zone, which is not that big. It's about 6 points. It's not as big as it was a few weeks ago. We were having like 15, 20 point areas. Quite difficult. That's when you got to go down to the micros and knock your number of contracts way down, well, down to where it's matched up with the size of your account. Sounds easy. Nobody ever does it though. And I don't know why. Seems to be the hardest thing to get across to people's risk management. And it's the single most important thing. I know it was the hardest thing to get across to me. I had those guys always telling me, Daniel, what are you doing, man? You're oversized. You're out of your mind. This is childish what you're doing. So, what do you know? What do you guys know? You're just professionals. I'm not going to leave that on there. It's a bit nasty looking. Like your mama's face. Mm. Hmm. I'm not going to worry with this. That's pretty well the next spot. I want to see where that gap is. We've already filled it. Yeah. No, we haven't. Nope. That's the gap right there. Let me make sure this is doing right. Yeah. I'm gonna see what the actual the equities RTH closes. If it's different, was this 31.83.25? All right. Yeah, see, we filled that one. No, we didn't. Not quite. Okay. So we've got a pretty good target there. Yeah. Come on, you bastard. Oh, yeah. But you know what? I bet it goes right up to the next spot before it goes up. I bet you it goes to right here first and then goes straight down. So that's going to be wave A down low here, B back up, and then probably C down. By that time, we might be looking at something more like this, making it down to the bottom of that channel down here. We'll have to wait and see, but right now it's made a beautiful higher low right off of that trend line, close enough. And I'm sorry, this is the RTH. So that's Friday's close. It's already reopened. Let me see where it reopened. Yeah, it's coming down, 31.96. Yeah, we're coming down. 31.96. Okay. So how does that translate over here? What is the deal with these pop-up messages? They're always going to my main screen. Settings, 2-click, drag off, auto peak. Pop-ups under mouse, that's what I want right there. Yep. All right. Ooh, man. That might be making a low right this moment. Look at how perfect that low Friday was. Dang. To the tick, right exactly on the same exact bar where the two intersect. So I don't know how many times you guys have heard me say this, the high before the low to the highest high, right? And then there's your spot. So it turned up once. Looks to me like it's about to break through it, but that's definitely your main spot. But 84 is the ETH gap, and I think it's pretty close to the RTH. RTH was what, 83.25, and then this is the actual stock index RTH, which is at 88. So between 83 and 88, and we're already at 94. $6.15. I wanted to keep this to 1 hour, but I think next time it'll be pretty easy to do that. I just wasn't quite 100% prepared today because I'm switching around computers. My other one still will not start. I guess I just have to completely rebuild it. But anyway, like I said, I did rebuild one already. It's a 6-core. I think it's the 8700K from a few years back. So that one does pretty good. Now that I have a new motherboard and I can clock it up to about 4.2. And yeah, below that, I think you might be right there, Scott. 84 is that VWAP. And it's the top of that volume cluster down here. You do have a pretty wide open gap there in the profile. And your low volume node is exactly 80. What is it? 82. It's going to be tough to buy though. I mean, what is it? An expanded flat? Could be. If it is, then it has to be stopping now as a higher low right here. You know what? It might just be doing that. I'm going to open a 5-minute chart real fast and let's see. I've been doing so much other stuff. I haven't even looked at the markets lately. And now I'm seeing how easy it is to get addicted to this stuff all over again. Some pretty significant relative volume coming in there. This must be a really old chart template because it should not be doing this. It's like it's centering the data. Where is that? Right here. It's a high density climax. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's so close to breaking that low. I'd sound like an idiot calling a higher low at this point, but I swear it looks like that's exactly what it's doing. It's clearly a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So I wonder if that's not an expanded flat up, and that's your 1, 2 for C, right? So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A down, and then A expanded flat B, C for the B wave up, and then a giant C wave down potentially. Yeah. Yep, I bet it is doing that. I know it sounds crazy, call a high or low when it's 2 ticks away from breaking it, but yeah, if I were sitting here waiting for this, I would probably be long already from that 2-bar pattern right here. It's a huge amount of volume coming in right at the close or the open? Right at the open, yeah. It's pretty nice. But again, you're awful close to breaking that low. I'd be surprised if I were right and it does actually go all the way back up. But let's figure it out. If it does do that, then what is the target? The target is really right in here between that 138.2 and 161.8. Yep. Right there. So yeah, that's where I want to see it make it up to. All right, let's check out the 6E, and then we'll call it call it an evening. I kind of need to get some water. You guys want to just take a quick break real quick so I can get some water? I can barely talk. Let me go ahead and open up these charts, and then we'll take just a quick 5-minute break, and then I'll finish up with 6E. I'm going to do both the actual Forex market and the futures. It's what we really should be doing anyhow. Both. This is such a beautiful chart too. It's so crystal clear. Man, it's just amazing. The 60-minute and the 30-minute, it's just beautiful. All right, give me just about 4 minutes or so, and then we'll finish up with the euro. Cool. All right, take a break, take a breather, and I'll meet you back here in about 4 minutes. All right. All right, let's do this. You guys still hear me? Come in over. Can I go more in depth about the micro comment Todd is asking? Yeah. So when the volatility is high, essentially you want to trade based on the size of your account, right? You want to position size as best you can. And if you have a small account, then obviously you can't really afford to trade multiple contracts when volatility is as high as it is. So with the micros, I'll open up. Let me just do that now. I'll open up the crude oil real quick. I'm just going to do this just for, oh, I've already got it open. Perfect. So let's say that can't really do it with crude. You can. You've got the QM, I think it is, right? For crude. So you could add the QM as an instrument. I don't know if it's going to show it here. No, it won't. Let me see. How can I do that? I can't really type it. Well, anyway, you would add the QM or the micro. So for the ES, you've got the micro ES, which I think is $1 per tick. Or is it $1.25? It's the big one divided by 10, right? So instead of trying to trade 2 contracts in the ES when you've only got an account size of say 10,000 bucks, or hopefully at least 10,000, hopefully not less, then you could trade the micro and actually position size properly and have your stop large enough to where it makes sense to get into the trade. If your stop can't be big enough without losing a huge amount of money, obviously you want to lose less than 2% per day, preferably 1%, but I see a lot of guys risking 10% of their account per trade when they've got $5,000 in the bank, and that's obviously a big no-no. So you could add the micro as another data series here, and you can simply just add it to the same panel. Let me see if I can just do that with another instrument. I'll just use the ES, for example. I'll add it as a second instrument, and let's see, rather than loading any kind of a preset, I'll just make everything transparent. In fact, I'll use, instead of a candlestick, I'll just use a line on close and then set that to transparent. It's a little bit difficult to do this with 2 different instruments. Basically, you want to uncheck auto scale, and rather than set it to a new panel, you would set it to the same as the price series, panel 1. And then you can add that like so. And then when you turn the chart trader on, okay, I've got to change a couple of other settings here. So I don't want it to break, and I think I want to set it to, I want to turn this off. What else do I want to do? Something about the equidistant bar spacing. I think that's in the properties. Yeah, So I think I can turn that off. It may look a little bit funny, but when it's the same contract, when it's the same instrument, you know, it should look fairly similar. It's easier to do this on a 1 minute, on a non-tick based, or let's say a time-based chart. So what I was going to show you was essentially just turning on the chart trader from here, and then you can select the instrument. See? So now that I have two instruments on that chart, one of them is hidden, I can trade the other instrument. So you could add the, you know, do all the analysis on the big contract so that you have all the volume and the market geometry areas are a little more precise. And then you can change the instrument in the chart trader and trade the micros like that. See what I mean? So that you can position size appropriately according to your account size. You follow me there? Makes sense, right? So I think that's what we'll start doing in the trading room. So I can show you guys, because you know, unfortunately, most of the guys that are in here with me have already been through the ringer a number of times, and then they finally end up here and learn finally how to discretionarily trade properly. It takes a lot of time, but it's not going to happen overnight for you, that's for sure. Yep, you're welcome, no problem. All right, let's do the 6E now. Real quick, you can even do that with Blackbird. So I'm typically using Blackbird, although I haven't been as much as I used to, but now that it's actually working pretty well, I'm typically using, or let's say I will be using Blackbird from here on in, or here on out, whatever. And then let's see, I'll add crude. And then I could set the input series to that secondary series. See, I've already removed it, but you can set the input series to the strategy to whatever you want, as long as it's on that chart. And then of course with Blackbird, you can show Blackbird's. Oh, it's cool. You put the version number in there. Glad he did that. Then you can use Blackbird's chart trader. So you don't have to use Blackbird to trade, you know, fully automated. You can use it to trade discretionarily as well, because the way that I'm doing it actually is to discretionarily enter the trade and then use Blackbird at least while I'm away from the computer. I'll use Blackbird to kind of manage the trade. But you know, if I'm sitting here all morning long in the trading room, I'm more or less managing it discretionarily myself. So although Blackbird is managing it, I'll usually exit the trade myself for the most part. But we've got a pretty elaborate trade management system here. It's about to get a lot more better too. All right. Yeah, it's a beautiful one. So this is the low that we have been waiting for about a year and a half. This low. And look at how, this is just insane how perfect this is. But so if that's wave one up, and it is, it's at least an A wave up, but I'd say it's wave one up. Then, man, I miss my 1440p monitors. My hotkeys. I'm gonna have all that ready for tomorrow though. It'll still be 19. It'll still be HD monitors tomorrow, but I'll have the hotkeys all figured out. Anyhow, this is a 1. Well, let's do it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, that could be a triangle in here, or no, that's a wave 4. Maybe it's the high before the low. Yeah, pretty much. All right. So that's wave 1 up. And then we've been looking for wave 2 low for forever. And it ended up tracing out the most bizarre and just never ending, I don't know, double or triple 3. And so the channel, the trend channels automatically will find that widest point. Sorry for the popping and cracking, but that widest, Tim Moore says something like the widest excursion or something. It's essentially the price that is the farthest away or the furthest away, however you say that, perpendicular to the baseline. So that's what it's connecting to automatically. And I made it do that because more often than not, that's the swing that you end up making it to. I mean, that's the price that the auto line, the channel line, ends up being the exact price for the next major swing, low or high, in this case a low. But if I drag it down to the lowest low between those two highs, what is it? It's not that one, it's this one here, isn't it? But you could connect it to that one or this one. And those are your only two real choices. But look how perfect that is. And I would connect it to this one because that's the end of the pattern. And why do I say that's the end of the pattern right here? Who knows? Is there anybody in? Because it's a big A, expanded flat B, C, right? For the B wave of wave Y. I know that's hard to follow if you have no idea what I'm talking about Elliott wave, but that's a big, perfect expanded flat. And this would be the end of wave W? No. The end of wave A of Y. Yeah, this is a really tricky one here, but this is like a running triangle. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you got A, B, C, D, E. This is a big running triangle. Mm-hmm. And then you've got a truncated fifth wave. I know it's very bizarre, but You could say, actually, in fact, it might be better to say that that is an ending diagonal of a fifth wave. And this is just a big ABC. I think that's what the dudes at Elliott Wave would prefer, I say. So if that's a big 1, 2, 3 triangle 4, then what are we looking at? We're looking at 1, 2, 3 triangle 4 ending diagonal 5. One, two, three, 4, 5. For our big, no, that's not it either. That's A, and that's B, and that's C. That's what I mean. This was such a long and drawn out pattern. It was just never ending. I thought this wave 2 low would turn into a massive sell-off, but how could the dollar get strong when we print not 3 trillion, not 4 trillion, not 5 trillion, but 11 trillion, 12 trillion dollars? I can't even fathom what that even means. What does that even look like? 11, 12 trillion dollars. It's just insane. We all kind of thought that was a low at first, and then you get that final big massive push down, psychs everybody out, goes right to the bottom of the channel, and then straight up. So this push up and out of it, I'm pretty convinced is the beginning of a massive wave 3 to the upside. And it's probably going to be big. Like really, 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 really big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think we're just completing wave 3 tomorrow, maybe sometime in the middle of next week. Sorry, this coming week. So in the next few days, probably completing wave 3. That's a big triangle 4, and then 5. So if we're looking for the end of wave 5, how do we find that? 2 to 4? I think that's 2 there, actually. Yeah. So chances are we'll make it to the top of that channel, and that is just insane. By the time it gets there, it's probably going to be about 118 and some change. B wave of wave Y. Yeah, Danny, that's the double 3. That's the one you really want to focus on. The double 3 and the expanded flat. Those are the two most common. So a double 3 is 2 ABCs put together. And that's what we're going to see occur, more often than not. Those are the trades that I'm taking. Double 3s or just simple ABC flats or zigzags. It's usually a flat or a double 3. But yeah, study up on double 3s. Double 3s. There's some There's some good videos on ElliotWave.com actually that'll get into that. I have some other material I'm going through, but it's a bit. Everybody tends to put their own flavor on Elliott Wave, and it's, you know, it's really not the way to do it. Evidently or supposedly, Prechter had done all of these statistics on all these different wave counts, and it's at least proven true for me and the way that I've traded, and it's reflective in my track record, or reflected rather in my track record. So I'd say it's a valid methodology, but it's the most difficult to apply properly and learn first of all. And yeah, people just are not willing to put in the time that it takes to learn it, and it's a shame because it gives you such a good roadmap. So if we're looking for the end of wave 5, I'm going to do the size of wave 1 from the end of 4, and I think that's a triangle 4 there. What do you know? You've got the 100% right up near the top of the channel. Let me zoom in on that. I'm going to use the 6E. Yeah. It's more or less the same. Let's see, I'll use that 138 too. Or sorry, that 138 minute. If I can get my act together here. One 38. Miguel, what's happening, buddy? I haven't seen it yet. I'll be sure to check it the minute we get done here, though. No, man, that's all right. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I got yeah, I got plenty of that. The niacin. Is that what that one is? Yeah, you got Skype? Or what do you have that we could talk on? And this is almost exactly like what we had in was it crude that we had this? That we broke through the channel and then we hit the median line? And look at that. Man, just right on. Yeah, hit me up on Skype then. Daniel.row1. And now we're taking off. Man. All right, I'm going to do this on the continuous contract. So 6E pound pound dash pound pound. Oh, but see, you guys don't have that. Well, it's all right. We'll see if it's any different. I think it's probably about the same. You've only got one rollover in there, I think. Look at what you're making right now. You're making an extreme density churn bar, which means you're probably putting in a little swing high temporarily before it takes off again. Yeah, it's slightly different. You broke through it a bit here. It's not dramatically different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So This is actually 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I think that's the end of it right there. Or can it be? No, it cannot. Mother of pearl. I think it's I think that's the end of wave 4, and that's just another 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah, it must be. So that's going to be wave 1, 2 of the 5th, and I think we're coming up on the end of the 3rd of the 5th. Yeah, it sounds like gibberish, I know, but for some reason it works. I don't know why. Works well enough. Works as well as anything else. That doesn't say much. That doesn't mean much of anything. I'd say it works much better than most else. It gives me a roadmap. It either does what I expect it's going to do, and I'll execute, take the trade, or not. And then, yeah, when it doesn't, I don't take the trade, and that's it. I may miss a lot of moves, but that's going to happen anyway. So don't get your panties in a bunch because you miss a trade. Don't be a panty waste, in other words. Well, let's assume I'm wrong, and that's actually the end of 3. I'm just not liking the way this is lining up on this futures contract here. Let's look at the Forex. That's the actual raw data we want anyway. There we go. Have you signed up with those dudes? We'll figure something out about that, Danny. I'll talk to you after the room tomorrow. I got some stuff that'll help with the Elliott wave. I got some stuff, man. It'll help you. First one's free. Yeah, I'm just not digging it. We're starting a brand new trend to the upside, and it's probably going to just take off for a while. So we're looking for longs, longs, longs until we get to the top of that channel. Hopefully we get a pullback. Looks like we already had that pullback Friday. There's a fatter amact right here. Nice little ABC. I bet that was perfect on the 15-minute, 10-minute chart. You know it was. One, two, three, 4. Yeah, we got to be coming up on a swing high here soon. We've got a huge relative volume bar, but this is sorry, a churn bar. It is on the Forex, so it's using the total ticks, which is not quite as accurate, but it's still close enough. Yeah, we're coming up on a high, it looks like. So hopefully we'll get a pullback and we can come back near that previous low or maybe even down to this one. So let's just see where that might end up and then we'll call it quits here. Yeah, I'd say back to this channel. This is going to be a difficult one to find because you've got so many different swing highs and lows in here. Let me take this down a notch. Let's do a little better. Yeah, you see that nice churn bar at the end of that low there? That's what you call a perfectly symmetrical retracement. Right there. Dang, man. Mm, mm, mm. On the 20-minute, that's a 2-bar pattern into that low. And you got, what do you got? Well, you have the trend line anyway. I mean, that's about as picture perfect as it gets. Dang. So we want to come back to at least that spot, and that's 116 and some change. So that's a pretty big move. Let's just see how many pips that is. I'm not used to using the Forex, but let's have a look. It's probably going to happen tomorrow morning, maybe in the overnight. I mean, it could, I can just keep going straight up for a while before it turns, but when we turn, we want to see it come back, hopefully to the top, at least, preferably inside that high. And then hopefully that kiss goodbye line there. And that's all coming together pretty well, perfectly. Right there. So a lot of ticks. It says ticks, but I guess that's pips, huh? It's kind of funny. I want to say you can change that as well. You can make it show up. I'm pretty sure you can edit the instrument and change those settings. Isn't that right? EURUSD. Yeah, you can, see? You can change that tick size. It's problematic for people. So if you're trading Forex, you better know it. All right, that's about all I got for you for this evening. That's a solid 2 hours. Trading room starts at 7:30 in the morning tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. Daniel.row1. Let me just see. I don't think I have Skype installed on this one. I don't. Maybe I got it on my phone. Hang on. Yeah, I do have it on my phone, obviously. It didn't work. I'm not seeing any requests anyway. Tell me yours. I mean, I don't. Okay, my email has changed for that. So here's my email. I had to get a new one from Microsoft for this, or I had to change it rather. Trade the plan Dan. Super gay. Could be worse though. So search that in Skype. No? Michael, Mick, what's your Skype address, mate? I got Danny Zuko, but no Danny Zuko 70. I just got Danny Zuko. You in Antonio? San Antonio, Texas? That's you. Okay, cool. All right, you guys, we'll do it again next Sunday at 4. And I'll be prepared. Mo prepared. Hey, Don, how you doing, buddy? Long time no see, no chat. How you doing? Back from China? Well, I guess you're back from China. You better be back from China. Goodness gracious, yes. That's right. I totally forgot you were over there for that. You probably made it back just in time, didn't you? We'll have to catch up. All right, you guys. I'll talk to you in the trading room tomorrow at 7:30. We've been trying to prepare an email, but you know how I am with email. Not very good. So anyway, we'll talk to you guys in the trading room tomorrow, and we'll figure out all the subscription stuff. We're going to give you some extra time and refund last month, or um, just not charge you next time. However you want to do it. But we're about to kick it into high gear here for the next several months, so brace yourselves. All right. Y'all have a good one. I'll talk to you tomorrow and then the rest of you next week. All right. Bye, everyone.